good evening, and welcome to Hearts and Hills. You're tuning in to the place where we talk about everything from your heart to your heels. What a glorious night to stay in and listen in and tune in, invite someone to join the conversation. I am one of your hosts, Shay Robinson, and I love to be with you every Thursday night. Remember, get connected with us online on social media at Hearts and Hills, the number one on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places. We want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. We want to know what you have to say. Now, if you have some comments tonight, you can definitely call in at 334-318-6375. Again, that number is 334-318-6375. We have my husband in the studio with us tonight. Hey, Rod Robinson, how are you?
What's happening? I am up in here with my most beautiful.
Yes, he's tuning in with us tonight because we're talking about ladies no more tearing each other apart as we celebrate International Women's Month. It is a long month, and we have every March, we're celebrating women and the things that we do. And I know you say, well, if we're celebrating, why are we talking about this? Because it's important that as we celebrate, that we just don't use this month to celebrate and then tear each other down all the rest of the months. Because so we're gonna practice good habits starting tonight on what not to do. Now, before we go into a little details, I want to share what International Women's Month and celebration is all about this year. Their theme is to celebrate women's achievement, raise awareness against bias, take action for equality. So they're hoping that we can forge inclusive work cultures for women to be creative in their careers and celebrate their achievements, to celebrate working women and elevate visibility of commercial projects and commissions, to elevate and advance gender parity in technology, shine a spotlight on activity, uplifting and inspiring women to pursue goals without bias or barrier, to elevate women forging change via technology, to assist women to be in a position of power, to make informed decisions. According to the International Women's Celebration, they want a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where difference is valued and celebrated. They said, together we can forge women's equality. Collectively, we can all break this bias. Women coming together, celebrating each other, acknowledging that you are wonderful and great, acknowledging that you have done some amazing things. So before we talk about women that's done these amazing things, that we have given out these awards, we have had conferences, we got women conferences all over the place. So let me give my shout out to the women I want to celebrate and achieve. I want to celebrate their achievement. I want to celebrate all the women who struggle every day to get out their bed to go to work, all the mothers out there who are parenting in spite of, all the women who are working hard, getting up, doing your 8 to 5, coming home, cooking your dinner or buying your dinner, whichever you prefer, and the women who are being wives to their husbands, being daughters to their mothers, being aunts and being cousins, being whatever you need, being a friend. We celebrate you on tonight because every woman deserves to be. If anybody understood what another woman is going through, we should understand. So let's celebrate each other. Let's give each other the love.
James Brown said like this: "It's a man's world,
Uh-huh.
but it wouldn't be nothing
Absolutely.
without a woman." And so again, shout out to all the women who are making it happen. Beautiful, uh, God fearing, inspiring, motivating, captivating women that you are. I tell you all the time, women have always been throughout the history. Women have been just that backbone, just that support system for the world. And then even when you look at the church, um, a lot of the movements that took place in the church, it takes place because women have been there,
Women, I'm
and
just
not only
saying.
that, even when you start talking to some of the older heads who talk about the civil rights and how
Hmm.
the part that women played
It was a
in
woman that kicked things off, wasn't it?
so again, it's time to celebrate, like you said, not hate. It's time to celebrate and truly value the perspectives that women can give each other, looking
Yeah.
for inspiration from each other, as well as validating one another,
It's important that we validate one another and make sure, because again, if no one knows what we're going through like other women. So ladies, it's time for us to get pat each other on the back. So tomorrow when you get to work, when you get in your workplace, or when you call someone and you tell them I celebrate you and what you have done and the challenges that you overcome, because some of us do these things laughing, some of us do these things crying, some of us do these things broken, but we're still doing them. So, ladies, keep getting up, keep moving. And so, because of that, I want us to talk about how to stop hating on each other, how to stop, let it go. I was reading and it said, we as women understand the struggles of other women. So we must be better with each other because we know how difficult these are. We need to connect with each other to make the world a better place. So listen, the success of one woman should be your inspiration. If you're a confident woman, you don't hate on other women. You let them have it. You give them their compliments. You tell them they're great. They're great. You give them a pat on the back. You let them know that they got it going on. You tell them, because we are all fearfully and wonderfully made. We are
Sure.
all beautiful in our own rights. We all need to learn to recognize ourselves and recognize others. We are all fully capable of accomplishing our goals. We are unique. We are talented. So we got to stop dragging each other.
Wow.
We got to learn how to treat each other better. We have to learn to do better. We have to learn to pull each other up. We talk about girl power, women involved, and celebrate women and all these wonderful things. And it just doesn't mean it for women that we consider to be successful, or women who are in the limelight, but it's the everyday woman, the woman that we work with, the woman that's down the street, our next door neighbor, the person we see in a car. Those are the people, the teachers, the counselors, the police officers. It's those women that we got to celebrate and stop tearing down. So, a wonderful artist by the name of Maya Angelou, a poet, she said, "Pretty women wonder where my secret lies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I am a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That is me. All of us are phenomenal women. So we got to stop hating on each other. How do we do that? Stop being jealous.
Mm.
I, I, I'm just going to tell you, stop being jealous of one another. We all, again, are beautiful in our own right. We cannot be jealous of each other. We cannot sit and talk about each other and hold each other to these standards of long time ago. We have to let those things go. And jealousy stems from a place of competition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do we always want to compete with the next woman? We don't have to compete.
Right.
Look in the mirror. The only person that you should be competing with is yourself. Yourself from yesterday. How do you be better? How do you grow from that? That's the only thing that you should be competing against, not each other. Because we all have our own path in our lane, right, ladies? So if we all have our path in our lane, why are we fighting each other? Why are we waking up to compete? Why are we waking up to tear each other down? No, let her have her shine, because yours is coming. If you're a believer, you know that it is going, your time is coming. You just have to celebrate in that season. I have a friend of mine, she would always say, you know what, I'm gonna celebrate you, because when I celebrate you, I know that God is releasing something for me.
Mhm.
So, ladies, I'm gonna tell you, when things are happening for other people, don't be jealous. Celebrate them. When life seems like it's going so fine for them, and you don't really understand what's in the background, don't be jealous. Celebrate them. Don't hate on them. Don't do any of those things. Just celebrate. Celebrate what's happening in their lives. Jealousy leads you to nowhere. It leaves you green. It leaves you angry. It leaves you frustrated. It leaves you dark. It leaves you absolutely nowhere. Celebrate.
Oh yeah, you felt that in.
Yes.
Your eyes all closed. Do it, girl.
I believe that when we stop being jealous of one another, then the world can change. We can spend our energy in other places.
Yeah, and you
Because
said one thing that was real powerful when you said it breeds, the jealousy aspect of it. And when you think about it, you know, from the beginning, even when Cain killed Abel, he killed him because of jealousy. He
mm,
killed him because his sacrifice to God was looked at more admirable than his sacrifice. And so again, when
yeah,
anytime you start having those unhealthy comparisons, we start talking about David and Saul, how the Bible says that Saul has slain thousands, but in David, the women would sing, Saul killed 1,000, but David has killed tens of thousands.
yep.
And from that moment, it says that he eyed him different. He looked at him different. What is it about women and these looks? Talk to me about that. A woman
I
can a
mean,
woman can look at another woman with a look, and it just I see it sometimes when I'm out, just women looking at each other,
yeah.
or even sometimes walking with you. I guess women will look or whatever. What is it about women and the way they
I
look
mean,
at one
because
another?
we're judging, we're internally competing with that person. We're
Mm-hmm.
comparing ourselves to that next woman. What does she have? What does she look like? Oh, she think this. I mean, because how it comes out is, oh, she thinks she cute
But just in a
because she
split
got
moment,
this.
how can you? What type of normally? I know you say, hey, let the person be judged on the content of their character, whatever, or give a person an opportunity before you pass judgment. Don't pass judgment on someone based upon someone else's, you know, opinion. Form your own. But how is it that
We
women?
are forming our own opinion. We're competing with you in our minds. If we see a woman, normally when you see somebody give those looks, it's because they feel like someone has one up them, and they're trying to look them up and down and figure out what can I tear down, what can I rip apart, or what can I take from them, or what she thinks she
Well,
ought. I
that
mean,
dress was cute, but them shoes were ugly.
exactly. Exactly. It's like these cross
Oh God,
compliments. Yeah. So we're always looking.
shallow.
I mean, it is, and I don't think it's necessarily shallow, though. I disagree.
I think it's shallow.
No, it's not shallow. It is because we are living in this world that glorifies beauty in a way. So when we see somebody else that beholds the beauty that we think we don't have, then hey, I'm coming at you. All full speed, everything. I'm gunning for you because I want to have whatever you have, but I'm not going to tell you that, and I'm not even going to tell myself that. I'm going to talk about you to make you look bad, or to downplay you in my head so I can feel better. Because when we talk about people, that's all we're doing. We're trying to put them in a place, in a perspective, to
So
make
you
ourselves
saying
feel
so you
better.
saying when it comes to women, women have a tendency or can look to. Am I hearing this right? Just FYI, it's like
Go
they
ahead.
may look to degrade each other in order to form some sense of validation themselves.
Absolutely.
Really?
All day long.
Wow. So that's what it is. That's what it's called.
I mean, it's just natural. And I mean, we're always comparing. And then now you have social media where you can have these likes and you can have these hearts and you can have all these things.
And half
And
of it's
it just, and
filters.
most majority of it is filter. And we love it. We put a good filter on because we want to make ourselves better. We
Mm.
are always seeking to make ourselves better. I love to see a woman with big butt. Now I talk about it in my head, but like, look at that, look at all that booty. But that's because I want big, huge booty. I'm a big, huge. But that's a part of it. We always. So I'm telling you, we gotta stop being jealous of. We gotta stop internalizing things and stop looking at other women and what they have, and then automatically comparing ourselves and becoming jealous and start competing, because that takes us to places that we shouldn't even be. We should be more consumed about who we are and what we've been given, because God has given us everything that we need for everything that we need. Like, you don't need that. You don't need this type of skin color or this hair or this that to get what God has designed for you. It is naturally going to come. Now that's one thing. Now here's the second thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Avoid always get putting women in these boxes. Other women. Now, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Hearts and Heels. Tonight, we are celebrating Women's History Month, but we're doing it in our own way, because we can't just celebrate one day. We can't just celebrate a month. We're going to celebrate all year. So we're challenging you to stop tearing each other down. So what we got to do is stop putting people in these boxes.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I hate that we always do, and I'll put people in boxes. One thing I hate that we always do is always put people in a box according to their past. A lot of people have changed since yesterday. So if I can change from yesterday, surely I can change from 10, 6, 20, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you're keeping people in these boxes because it fits with the what you want them to be. You know, if you see a successful woman, well, I remember when she was this. Oh, if someone's married, oh, I remember when she was this. Someone, they look good now. Oh, I remember when she was this. Oh, and let me this. Do you see them doing something successful? Oh, I remember when she was this. We are all something different all the time. We have to allow people to be who they are. We have to take them for what they are now. So what, they being fake? Maybe they faking it till they make it. Don't we say that? Don't we say fake it till you make it?
Till you make it.
And so you judging and you talking about them, you talking about their past, you're bringing up stuff that doesn't even exist. I'm not the same. Every day I'm seeking to change and get better. Don't we supposed to get better every day?
Right, absolutely.
We're supposed to grow wiser, get smarter, become greater, and we forget that other people do that. Now it really gets me, because we want people to see us in our change. We want people to give us or allow us the grace and the space to see the place that we've changed, but we can never give other people the grace and space to see where they change. Because I know for me, I am not the same person I was in high school. And I've had two people that said, I remember you in high school, you did such and such. I'm thinking to myself, but that was high school. I'm a grown woman with children and married and working, have a career. I am not the same person. I know I'm not the same, because when someone told me they were praying for my husband, I ain't going to fight them. I want to pray for him. You got to know that people can change. And you can't keep them in boxes. You have to let them grow up and be. You have to give them the grace that whatever they're showing. That she should. Well, she said she was praying for you, honey. I was like, shoot, what you praying for? What you want, child? I don't know what you trying to get, but anyway, when she told me in my face, I could have thrown some fries, I could have done all these things, some ketchup or something, but no, I'm like, okay, let me pray for you, honey, because you praying for the wrong thing. First of all, she know what she was asking for. Second of all, you should not be praying for anybody else's husband. You should be praying.
Not praying. It's okay to pray for other people. She says praying for.
I'm sorry. She was saying that my husband should be her husband. That's what she was praying for him in that respect. Like, I want y'all to break up so he can be my man. That's what she was saying, So when I say praying for, that's what I meant. So I guess y'all, that's a tidbit. Be careful when people say they're praying for you. You don't know what they're praying for. Amen. So
You are in full gear tonight. Shift on, shift on.
Listen, do not leave people and put people in these boxes. We put God in boxes. God is bigger than what He is bigger than your light bill. He is bigger than your telephone bill. He is bigger than that. My God is so much greater. So just like you cannot put God in boxes, you cannot put people in boxes because we can be so many things all at one time. I have learned that recently. You could be one thing, but you can also be something else. So just because somebody is a liar doesn't mean that they can be telling the truth at some point. Just because someone did steal doesn't mean that they didn't steal at this point. You could be multiple things. Just because somebody got a bad past doesn't mean that they don't have a bright future. You can be so many things at one time. I could be a woman can be an adulterer but still be a giver. We can be that.
What you getting?
Well, she giving. You
Yeah.
know, we can be all these things. So let people be. Stop putting them in the box and stop being so critical and having all these cliches about what we should do. You know, one of the things we definitely talk about, and it make younger women feel so bad, like women like me who can't cook. We always telling women you gotta cook for your husband, cook for your family. We gotta stop putting all these cliches and these things on people and let people. I mean, you can give advice, but don't say if you're not doing it, you just the worst person in the world. No, let people live and be them and grow into their spaces.
Well, the boxes I think again that we put each other into is based upon the limitations that we really impose upon that person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the limitations that God put on them. You know what I'm saying? So really, even in our short thinking or our shallowness, it really doesn't stop God's plan from being able to come to fruition in that person's life. It limits us from being able to receive
it and enjoy it.
What God has. God could be trying to use these certain circumstances or persons to bless our life, but we miss it because we too busy caught up on, or they this, or they did this, or I remember when. Again, that's one thing I love about God. He says, though thy sins may be as scarlet, he said he will make them white as snow. And so that if God can forgive, if God can release, God says, he says, look, I will blot out your transgressions and remember them no more. In other words, God says, I catch amnesia about what you did or what you're doing or what you've done. He says, I won't even remember it. So if God has the capacity to not hold us to those things, why do we continue to try to hold each other? And again, like I say, you really could be missing out on the best part of your life. You could be missing out on God wanting to use someone to really be a blessing to you.
Because they can pour into you.
And that's one thing the Apostle Paul said. He says, look, what my benefit, it ain't for me. He said the benefit that what God is doing in my life is for you.
Yeah.
He said, so to live and to die as a Christ is gain. He said, but for your sakes, what I'm saying? In other words, what God is doing in my life is going to be a blessing to you if you can receive it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And not block. Please believe I'm a blessing, but don't block your blessings. Be willing, be willing enough to give me an opportunity. Let me grow in grace. Because again, like you said, sometimes when we start thinking about past, we automatically think about years, but sometimes it may not be years. It may be months. It may be days. It may be weeks. You know what I mean?
Or minutes.
You know what I mean? From grace, from glory to glory, God is able to change us. So again, as women, I think ladies need to understand that God is giving you all such a nurturing spirit. I mean, and such the ability to bear weight. And I think when you carry the weight of others as well as yourself, sometimes you have to be able to come together and share those things. You know what I mean? And not a way that where you're jealous or whether you're envious or whether you're two-faced or cannot be a confidant one to the other. In other words, as soon as one female come tell you this, you call somebody else and tell them that. No, I think God wants, if you're going to be a friend, be a friend.
Yeah, so you bring us right to our next point.
Okay.
Give gossip the boot.
Oh.
Stop gossiping.
Ah.
You led us right to that place.
Look, them
Ladies,
little old ladies be on the porch gossiping.
listen, if you have a comment or you want to
I mean, 90
share
years old.
something we should not be doing as women as we get ready to go into a season of celebrating, that number is 334-318-6375. That is 334-318-6375. Stop gossiping. I just want to let that sit. Stop gossiping. Which leads me,
But you know, gossip be so it be juicy. You know,
and we call it tea. I'm sorry. Stop trying to get the tea or give
I
the
mean,
tea
I
to
be
everybody.
listening to women sometimes talk, and it be like it be so
It be.
I be on it. But anyway, it is so um, it seems like it's such a part of
See, ladies,
uh,
this a man.
yeah, you know, black girls rock. You know, I get it, but it seems like the gossip aspect about good. Let me tell you,
Ooh, when they say, when you start off, girl, let me tell you
yeah,
what
you know, when I
happened.
be listening, and I'm observative at times. When I hear it, it's like, I mean, it be juicy now. My bad.
See.
God don't like it. But anyway, when the Bible talks about gossiping, no, it said don't be gossiping and busybodies.
He always bring in the scripture.
That's what I'm here to help you for. I'm here to balance.
Listen, no gossip.
No gossip.
We gotta let go of the gossip. If you hear things,
well, you be telling somebody business like truly, like if we're in connection or covenant friends, you can tell something that maybe because not gossip, just like you sharing, like you know what, we need to pray for so and so because such and such happened.
Yeah.
Really gossip, is
yeah.
You know,
still gossip.
Is that gossip?
I mean, it can be.
Got to be the intent behind
yeah,
it.
there is an intent. So if you're sharing this with someone because you want to be in prayer or you want to be fasting for them, or you want to cover them,
expose.
but if you just want to expose, or you just want to have some good to talk about, or you just let somebody know the tea of what's happening, then no, that's not right. Especially when it comes to other women.
And so in Montgomery, small stuff get around. It don't take long.
It doesn't take long at all.
And all thing I learned about too, even dealing that sometimes when a secret, you know, women be like, I got a secret to tell, or a woman say, I gotta tell you something, but I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. If it start off like that, it's I can't. If you can't tell me who told you, you know that's a flag.
Or don't tell anybody.
Don't tell nobody I told you.
Don't tell nobody about this. Now it's between me and you. You know. I've
again,
used all those phrases.
But again though, because again, and when you go back to like even grade school, high school, not so much college, but you know, as little managed mischievous boys, we were always hanging around. It's like the girls would be in their little huddle, their little circle, talking about this and that.
But that's where
it started.
Yeah, but that's where it comes because you form these groups or you form these opinions about people, right? You form cliques, but you also form this opinion that may not be right, or you telling a story that has been elevated because she might have said, I can't take this paper. But then by the time you get it, she was like, girl, she said, I can't take the paper. She got it up and threw it in his face, and then she slammed the door. I mean, because we always like to be dramatic. And you know why? Why we elevate the drama in it? Because when we tell somebody and they just sit on the phone like, or they sit in front of you like, okay. Then he be like, and they did, so you add to it because you trying to get that girl.
But I think that's where like soap operas came from. You know, like the, you know, Big Mama and them used to watch it too, though. You know,
Victor,
you know what I'm saying? All my children and Young and the Rest, all that was soap opera.
I think Victor married everybody on TV. See what I'm saying? You see how gossip? See. You see how gossip, but gossip. You just told it. I just told this story. But listen, gossip is not always the best way to handle these things. We have to understand, like he just said, it's the intent behind it. And like if you're praying for someone or covering someone or sharing it with a mutual friend and say, hey, we're gonna go talk to them, that's different. But when you just got gossiping just to have fun and to laugh at and to talk about. That's not
It's
something
and
we
it's
want to
really
do.
almost it's really it can be like I said very it can have a very malicious element.
It
You know
is,
what I mean by
yeah.
that? That basically are um, you are getting quote unquote entertainment.
And satisfaction
Yeah,
and
from
happiness.
from someone else's pain,
Yeah.
someone else's trouble, someone else's
Hmm.
calamity, someone else's
And
you
then
know.
you like to end it with, but I'm gonna pray for him. No, you not. No, you not. You know you not. No,
Give
no.
gossip the boot.
Give it
No
the
more gossip. I'm
boot.
telling you, next time I hear somebody tell me I got some tea, I'm like, I don't want to sip from it. I don't want to hear
No, he's not.
it.
Listen, phenomenal woman, stanza 2. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, and the joy in my feet. I am a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That is me. Listen. You're tuning in to Hearts and
Mm,
Heels with Rod and Shay. We are sharing with you tonight about celebrating women. But as we're celebrating women, we can tell you to stop to hate. Celebrate no hate
mm.
tonight. You can call in at 334-318-6375. Make sure you connect with us on social media at Hearts and Heels, the number one, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We appreciate you. Now, we've already talked about don't be
Mhm.
jealous, avoid putting other women in boxes and trying to keep them there. And we just talked about giving gossip the boot.
Okay.
You ready for the next one?
Carry on.
Embrace other women differences.
Mm.
She can be different. She can do it different. She can wear her clothes different. She can wear her hair different. She can approach life differently. Don't try to tell her, don't say, if I were you, if I was her, if I don't nobody care. Let her live her life until she comes to you and say, hey, woman, I need some advice. Give her some advice and leave it there, but embrace each other differences. Celebrate everything about your sister. She needs it. She fighting out here. She fighting demons
She
and
fighting out here.
yeah, she fighting demons and stuff. So if we're supposed to be fighting for equity and equality in different places, then how can we be fighting within each other? We got to learn how to unite together as women. So when we get into these spaces, they won't be able to integrate. Because I dislike it when we're in a workplace and other women are talking about each other, trying to knock each other down, or using power moves not to help other people. That is ridiculous. We got to come from that phase. If God has blessed you to be in that place, learn how to create space for others.
Mm-mm.
That was good.
Mm-mm. They're not gonna do it. I
If
want.
God has blessed you to be in a place,
Right.
create space for others. Women, embrace your differences. They don't have to look like you, they don't have to dress like you, they don't have to talk like you. All they have to do is be prepared for the moment, whatever their moments are. So we got to celebrate those. We got to acknowledge those. We got to lift those up. I'm ready for women to come together and put our hands and arms together around each other and lift each other up. It's okay if we're different. It's okay if we talk different. It's okay. I promise you it is. It's okay if we choose different. The only thing that's not okay is if I judge you and keep you down and knock you down because you are different.
Right. Right. And like I said, difference. It's about to me. It brings about the differences brings about diversity,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever there is diversity, there is an opportunity to learn from each other. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's an opportunity to glean something
I
from
like that.
someone
Learn.
that yeah, it's a learning opportunity to glean from someone who who knows another way, who sees it
Who
another
knows
way,
another
who
way?
has another perspective, who has another vantage point, and it's working for them. It might not work for you, you know, but that's
That's
not
yeah.
a green light to say okay because they are doing it this way then number one, it's not right, or number
Yeah,
two, that
yeah,
person is ridiculed, crucified, because and that's what they did with Jesus. Jesus wanted to do it another way, and they killed him for it.
they did.
You know what I'm
And we
saying?
gotta stop killing each other for
Yeah,
doing it
yeah,
another
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. Because
Let
wanted
these
to tear.
people live.
Yeah, let them be free. Let them
Yes.
embrace who they are.
Freedom is amazing.
And walking in your own lane. And I think a lot of times when you start talking about diversities or whatever, and embracing diversities, a lot of times if we can even just look at we different to somebody else too.
Yep.
The way we do things, the way we go about,
Yep.
or our ideology is not necessarily the same that others may be. So we got to be able to give people the opportunity to grow into who they are.
Let them have it.
Yeah, and celebrate it. You
Celebrate
may
it.
like natural. She may not never ever let her hair go natural.
And that's okay.
She's a perm type of woman. And you can because she got that creamy crack, your hair gonna
It's
fall
a
out of me.
relaxer. Oh, it depends on who you're referring to.
Yeah, or natural. I can't believe she left the house with her hair like that. She need a perm. You gotta let people be who they are.
He didn't mean it, y'all.
I'm just saying. However people be. I've seen it. I've been in the company, and they be like, "Ooh, I think when they were saying go natural, they weren't talking about that natural."
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I seen it. I seen others be like, "Ooh, she need to stop perming. She ain't gonna have no hair left." You know what I'm saying? I've been in circles where they're like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?"
Ooh, won't we do it? We'll talk about you and you cry, hey, or say hey, and then you walk off.
Say you gotta say there. When you go off, yeah, it's the lynch mob.
Y'all, it's time
It's the lynch mob.
to change that. We gotta change the narrative. We gotta let the men know that we ain't out here getting on each other like that. That we are celebrating our differences. Now that doesn't mean that you won't help a sister out, because I'm gonna help you with things you should do. Now I'm not saying that when you see something that you're not supposed to address it. But there are ways to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, but I want to talk about some more don'ts before we get to the do's. Here we go, ladies. Don't do this. Don't let your insecurities get the best of you when you're around others. We are all insecure about something. We look at each one of us can look at our bodies and say, "Whoo, I wish I had this." We all can look at our lives and say, "I wish I had this." We all can think about our past and say, "I wish I would have done it this way." We all have our insecurities. But ladies, don't let our insecurities get the best of us where we can't show up for other people. Show up in whatever way that they need. Show up. Your insecurities, deal with those internally. That brokenness, that hurt, that pain, that whatever you're feeling that's causing you to look at yourself in such a way, don't project that onto other people. Learn to process that and deal with it internally, and not give that energy to someone else, because they don't even know that you're dealing with that brokenness. They don't even know why you're responding that way or why you're looking at me that. Don't do it. If someone look at you and they didn't speak, and maybe it's that their day where they're thinking about something. You don't know what they left home from. I love the movie where it talks about the 6 degrees of separation of this, where activities and things happen and you don't even know. You meet a person at a moment in time and they don't respond the way you want them to, but you don't know what happened before they got to that moment. So just because you insecure, just because you feel like she doesn't like me, don't draw that out or put that into the atmosphere. Let me tell you something really powerful. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Life and death. And women, we have propensity to bring life into this world. We do it on an everyday basis. We can do it in 9 months. Bring life into this world. So if we can birth life in the physical, surely we can do it in the spiritual. Let's birth life into each other. Speak positive things. Don't give out the negative energy and allow your insecurities, your space that you're in to overpower you being able to be an inspiration, to be a positive outlook for someone. Speak life into them and then speak life into yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. Look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, I love my eyes. I love my arms. I love the way my fingernails grow. I mean, I love the way my feet look. Oh, look at me. Look at these hips, honey. They may have some dimples in these thighs, but these dimples look good on me. Tell yourself some things so when you walk out the door and you see someone in the two-piece bathing suit that you want to wear, you can say, girl, you look good. And you know what? I'm gonna go get me a two-piece. I ain't gonna look like that, but I'm gonna look good too.
I'm gonna give me a whole piece.
No, just still two-piece. But don't let your insecurities get the best of you. Because let me tell you, when we say don't let your insecurities get the best of you, because the best is what you have to give to others. You know, God is giving you something, and that something is your best, and you got to be able to give that to the world. That's your superpower. A year ago, we were talking about what's your superpower. Your superpower is giving your best, whatever that best is, whatever you are. And if you let your insecurities tear you down, it would wear away your confidence, which leads us to competition, which leads us to talking about each other, which leads us to saying when someone is different or they approach life differently, we're mad and frustrated. And we can't celebrate them. We can't give them what's due to them. Ladies, your
Ladies.
insecurities are yours. You got to take them to God, give it to Him, and allow Him to tell you who you are because He didn't make any junk. So if He didn't make any junk, surely you're good enough for whatever the situation is. Whatever they're doing, you good enough for that, or God has something in line for you. But if you allow your insecurities to take over, you won't be able to enjoy the moments and celebrate others around you. So don't let them. Don't let the insecurities get you. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Women, you are phenomenal. The world cannot define you. The world cannot tell you who you are because the world doesn't understand who it is.
That's right.
Only God can tell you. Maya Angelou got a glip, a thought, a speech from a poem from heaven to tell us that we're phenomenal women.
Yeah, I think a lot of times as well, you have to get um, the validation first of all for yourself. A lot of times, women seek validation from others, and we all can be guilty of men, women, boy, girl, that you want that your peers, you want those of your sphere of influence, you want them to have a certain level of appreciation or a certain level of understanding who you are and appreciating you for that. But everyone doesn't. Everyone won't get you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think women would do themselves a great favor if they would just begin to, like you say, throw your own party. Be your own cheerleader.
What did
Get your own,
Akele say?
yeah, get your own pom poms.
Mm-hmm.
And begin to celebrate who you are, and then that way, whether someone celebrates you or not, you have a sense of value. You have a sense, your worth. You have a sense of your own worth. So when someone don't let someone else put a price tag on you.
Don't let it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't let someone else put a price tag on, and basically they appraise you. Thank you, God. That they began to put a dollar on your worth. Know who you are yourself. And again, that comes from letting God download, everything about you,
Who you are.
yeah, letting God work his work through you, and whatever that looks like, from whatever you want to do, career, professionally, your look, your style, whatever it is that God has graced you to do. It talks about in scripture, says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily beset us, and let us run this race with patience. I think everyone has a race to run.
Right.
One of the most awesome female track star was Florence. Florence Griffin Joyner, and she had FloJo, and she had a style even before what's the new little young girl that got caught up. Anyway, before a lot of these young track stars, we had a FloJo.
Yes, we did. She was amazing with the long fingernails.
Yeah. She had style. She had great.
They talked about her.
Yeah, she wore the one leg.
She had that weave and one leg on pants.
Yeah, she had her own style, her own grace, and she didn't care. And that's nothing I want women to do. Whatever you gonna do, you do you, and be confident in it. Don't let anyone else, degrade you, or let anyone else tear you down because of what you do. They don't get you, and secretly, they want to do it, or they wish they could, or
I've been telling you,
there's a point of envy. It's one thing to be jealous, but it's another thing to be envious. Jealousy means I hate you because of who you are. Envy means I hate you because I'm not you.
Amen. Teach then. Stop with the jealousy and envy. I'm trying to help the people today.
Help the people.
Listen. Yes, Lord. Stop looking down on others. When you achieve, don't look down on others. So here we go. We have talked about. Now I'm gonna finish. This is the last stanza of Maya Angelou's poem, and I think this is a perfect place. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's the clicking of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care, because I'm a woman. Phenomenal woman. That's me. It ought to make you proud. So ladies, when you see women out here or you see something, don't talk about them. Think before you say something. Take a moment, think. Make sure it's not offensive. Give constructive criticism. But look, do it this way. Say it in private first.
Yeah, all that help.
Take them to the side.
Like a lot of confusion and a lot of friendships, a lot of spats, a lot of whatever could have been avoided.
Yes.
Had someone had the maturity, spiritually, or someone had the maturity to say, look, this is what it is, but you do it. It's not all what you say like this ain't what you do, is how you do it.
Yes. It's okay to be direct with someone. It's okay to go to that person.
And if you're gonna do it in love, I think that is, and it goes back to the place where it's coming from. If you're gonna do it in love and do it and with class and do it and see, that's what I learned a lot about people. We don't know how to handle things. We don't know how to have the tough conversations. If everyone say, "Oh, I'm real," or I give it to you,
they're not real for real.
But they ain't real for real. They can't not handle the moments where sometimes the
conflict,
the conversations that need to take place. And really, if the conversations would or should have taken place, it would have resolved a lot ahead of time. It's like we wait till it blow up and then it's done, and then it's like, believe me, we enemies, but before then, there was some pivotal moments where if someone could have been mature enough to say, look, hey girl, or look, hey bro, or look, hey this, and just iron it out. And I'm not saying that it doesn't mean that things doesn't happen or go separate ways, or that everything's about everything. Sometimes there needs to be demolition before there can be reconciliation. Sometimes you have to tear everything down before you can build it back up, but sometimes you can't just keep slapping or putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. You have to deal with certain things. And I think a lot of times when you talk about dealing with stuff privately, say it private, think before you hit send. You know, text messages don't ruin a lot of relationships, period,
Text
because
message, email, social
because you
media,
don't understand, what's being said,
how it's
the
been said.
tone of it that's being said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I can say I love you, and you hear that in
Mm.
a text, but if you hear it from me vocally, like, yeah, I love you.
Yeah,
You
I
see
mean,
what I'm saying?
it is.
It could be
is
a difference. You
Yeah,
know?
I think when it comes to saying things private, a lot of times that we won't go to one person. We like to do it in crowds, or we like to do. Let me tell you, saying things in private means that you have to have a lot of discernment. You have to discern moments when it's time to say something. Because when we at the party and you want to say something to me, that ain't the right time. Or, we're in the middle of church service and you want to whisper in my ear, that's not the right time. Or if I've had a bad day and I say to you, I've had a bad day, that is not the right time. My husband and I say this a lot, that and we love to tell people that when you're ready to say something that's really hard for somebody to hear, just ask them, are you ready for the truth? Like, are you ready for the truth? And give them the opportunity to say yes or no. If they say no, be willing to walk away until it's time, until they're able to hear the truth. Say it in private, say it in truth. Be honest and be open. As women, I'm not telling you not to be honest and open with other women. What I'm telling you is don't talk about the person and then, be in front of their face and you being two-faced, three-faced, four-faced, whatever it is. Don't do that. Go to them, tell them, talk to them, and then you kill a lot of things. A lot of drama would die out in our life if we would stop going around corners to get to the road we need to go to. Just turn on the corner. Just stay on the road. You don't have to take detours. Just stay right there and have the conversation. If you are the person to have the conversation with them, they will be ready to receive. And pray about it. I tell people, a lot of people, when Jesus, what got me when the scripture with the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, I know y'all heard somebody preach it, but like 2,400 times, you would say Jesus break the bread, the 2 fish and 5 loaves. What really got me is before he even began to do the work, he prayed. He prayed. He didn't start, let me break this bread and then I'm going to pray. No, he prayed first. Before you get into these conversations, pray first, ladies. And God will give you the words to say. He'll give them the heart to receive. Pray that. And make sure that you're not doing out of order. And let me say this is my last comment of how we can do things better. If you like something, then say you like it. It's so simple. If they look good, say they look good. You don't have to say you look good, but I'm glad you did that, but congratulations, but that's real good right there. But stop butting when you giving people compliments. Just say you like it. Support it.
Right.
Build it up. Give them the compliment. Don't no side compliments. Just give them a compliment. And it all starts. If we change the way we're approaching things, if we can go to a person one-on-one, if we can think before we respond, if we can say we like something, give people compliment, if we can do all those things, then we are doing it all from one place, a place of love. None of this can stop. None of the backbiting, none of the hurtful things, none of the breaking down and tearing down of each other can stop without us vowing or deciding that we are going to love instead of hate.
One thing about it, when, biblical, of course, we talked about, Cain and, the root of his hatred or jealousy or disdain for his brother. Well, one thing about it, after he had done his deed, the Bible talks about how his blood Abel's blood cried out from the ground. And a part of that, backdrop is when uh, God asked him, he said, where's your brother? You know, and I think that's kind of a profound question that when for women, I think even though those are two males that we hear that, and the response was Cain asked him, he said, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, am I my brother's keeper? I think there has to be a thing that women understand about women, that you ought to be able. Now, dudes, we don't get each other like women ought to, or like women do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a woman, when you have to ask yourself, when I'm dealing with these females in my life, or my friends or associates or acquaintances, where is she?
Mm-hmm.
Where is she?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And meet them there.
yeah, let me evaluate. They ought to be able to know where you're at. They ought to be able to recognize and to
Mm-hmm.
empathize and to sympathize
With the place that you're
with the
in
place the
your
woman
life.
in,
Yeah.
because every woman at some point in time or another has been there,
Has experienced some
has
level of
some
it.
level of it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some level of it. They should be able to. And I think when you do that, I think that's what part of truly having compassion for each other
Mm-hmm.
is about. Is that when you know where you were,
Mm-hmm.
it was like when you was a single mother trying to raise children, when you were,
Yeah.
a single parent raising children in school, when you were a single parent in school raising children and going to work,
Yeah.
when you were, when you
So yeah.
when where is she?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where is she? You know what it's like to be married and frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she? You know what it's like for your friend to be in a job where she feel like she's unappreciated, or
Mm-hmm.
looking for promotion, or looking for, you've
Mm-hmm.
been there. So I think that when women begin to truly put themselves in each other's stilettos,
Amen. We
you
love a good shoe.
then when they really be able to do that, I think they'll begin to treat each other better.
I like that. Put yourselves in your girlfriend's stiletto and see, and help her learn how to walk in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because life is hard and we need each other. That's why we have Women History Month, because we want to celebrate women. We want to let other women know that what you're doing is great. And it's wonderful to celebrate all the women who are doing the great works. And when I say the great works, the big time things where they've created this and they've started this and they've shot here. But tonight, I'm celebrating all the women who survive the day
Hmm.
and get up tomorrow and do the same. So, to all my women out there, happy International Women's Month. You are great. I'm going to tell you what I tell my son every morning. You are great. You are loved. You are blessed. You are favored. You can do all things. You are anointed for this. You are appointed for this. You are intelligent. You can do it. Don't let no one tell you different, because those are the lies that they tell. The truth is, you can do it. The truth is, nothing will stop you. The truth is that today is one step closer to your destiny and your purpose. Anything else you want to say, Mr. Rod Robinson?
Know your assignment, women,
Know your
and
assignment.
know who you're assigned to.
Yes. Now, just for to leave the studio as we head out, there's a Maya Angelou poem that says, "Touched by an angel, we unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train come ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love stripes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity in the flush of love's light. we dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet it is only love which sets us free. It's good night from us. And remember, whatever you do, do it with all your heart. And if you can't put your heart in it, put your heels on and walk away. Love you guys. See you next week.
We out.